Hello, Fightful Faithful, and welcome to the post AEW on a very late Friday night. It's different, it's the same, but it's different. It's different because Sean Ross Sapp isn't here, and I am. My name is Alex Pawlowski. I'm a co-host on the normal Wednesday night AEW Dynamite show. And I also host on Fightful Select twice a week a show called Sour Graps, where I talk about Raw and SmackDown and how much they suck. But AEW doesn't suck. Also, in my opinion, what sucks less than Raw and SmackDown is NXT, which I host on this very channel every Tuesday night. So you may know me from there. You may not know me at all, but let's hang out together and talk about AEW. We'll talk about Double or Nothing. We'll do a little preview ski and a review ski of this. We're going to add ski to the end of words whenever I feel like it, because it's late and I'm tired. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Drop a like, smash that like button, as the children say. Tap the bell for notifications. I've been told that I should say that. Also, give us your super chats, because then what you think in your mind, you can type out with your keyboard or your phone, and then I will say it out loud on the air, and everybody else will hear it. Like Ricardo El Capitan del LIW says, "Sweet Graps with Alex. Hell yeah! Hell yeah, indeed. It is going to be a fun show tonight. Hopefully, you guys, please, drop in your super chats, and I will read them on the air. I have one back here that I want to get to. Ricardo also says, is it just me, or did they telegraph everything? Well, we'll talk about it as we go through certain things. I don't know if the hard and fast rule that used to be in WWE, where the guy who's standing strong at the end of the go-home segment definitely isn't winning at the pay-per-view. I don't know if that's necessarily true. It may be in this particular case, but we'll see. We'll talk about it. Yeah. Ask questions, make statements, do it in the super chat, and I will read it on the air. That's how this works. Please keep doing that all night. It's the best way to support us, to support Sean and his gallivanting off to Jacksonville to watch Double or Nothing in person, and also to support me and Jeremy Lambert and Robert E. Felice, and everybody else who's getting paid by this website. Anakin JMT says, that certainly was a nice palate cleanser from SmackDown. Boy, oh boy! If you are a subscriber of Fightful Select, you will hear me yell about that tomorrow night. And if you aren't a subscriber of Fightful Select, consider subscribing, because then I will get to talk about how much I hate the fact that they did the exact same match from WrestleMania Backlash, or as we call it on the Sour Grap Show, WrestleBack Mania Lash. They did the exact same tag title match with the exact same story. Jadis flipped father and son and thought we wouldn't notice. Yeah, SmackDown was bad. What's not bad is Britt Baker's not bad. That DMD not 316 line popped me, says Ricardo. It popped me too. Popped me too. Yeah, please keep getting those super chats. I will read them throughout the night. And we'll talk about them as we see things coming through. The Nerd Guru says, blanket statement, the crowd singing Judas was the highlight of the less than exciting show, in my opinion. Got to end in a brawl, though. Yeah, I've saw some various things on the old TL, the timeline tonight, about who liked it and who didn't. Your mileage may vary. I do love the crowd back there doing whatever, singing this song. They're gonna sing Wild Thing at the top of their lungs on Sunday. It's gonna be great. I do think it was really funny that the camera panned the crowd and nobody knows the words to the verses of Judas. They just know the end of the chorus. They don't even know the beginning of the chorus. People are out there going, blah, 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 blah. Judas in my mind. They have no idea what the words are. It's kind of funny to me. Thanks for those super chats, guys. I want to make sure that I get to them. Kenshiro says, didn't mind all the interruptions this time, just because it was nice to see how over everyone is before the pay-per-view. That's very true. Now, at least Dynamite has had sparse crowds for a long time, so you can kind of gauge how over people are from the sparse crowd, their reaction. But nothing's like a full house, man. Nothing's like a full house. And it's going to be very different, I think, for WWE, who hasn't had anybody there, and they're piping in crowd noise, and they're telling you who you should think is over. I don't know how, we'll see how that works in practice when they actually get a real crowd in there. But it was really nice to hear this crowd at AEW, because this is a crowd I feel like that really appreciates what they're watching and is knowledgeable about it. And Michael Bunge, I like Bunge. I legit teared up seeing a full crowd again. Yeah, it's really cool. It's gonna get taking some used to. I was watching it for a while, like, and there were moments I was like, oh yeah, full crowd. That's weird. What's that like? It's kind of an interesting feeling. Wrestling Jeebus says, finally fans are back. Keep up the great work, Alice. Thank you very much. And yes, finally fans are back. Double or Nothing is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Welcome back, fans, says Nikolai Kreese. Darby over. Dark Order over. Jade is money. DMD, Miro, and Lance over. AEW not only survived, but made stars during the past year. This is very, very true. I do not know if you can say the same for the other show that was on earlier this evening. But the AEW, man, they put out the people they want. They put over the people want to put over, and it worked. Damn it. And Chris Rain says, I love seeing the reaction from Miro and Britt. Me too. We'll talk more about that as we go through the show. I'll try and make sure I keep up with all your super chats. Thank you very much. Let's start out the way that the show started out. Darby Allin versus Cesar Bononi. Somebody in the chat, I'm sure, will let me know. What is the name of Cesar Bononi's boys? JD Drake and Peter Avalon, Ryan Nemeth. I don't know the name of their faction. But Darby Allin versus Cesar Bononi. It's nice to have Cesar's a big fella. As John Moxley said in a pre-match promo a while back, big guy, good looking guy. You could probably make a lot of money with him. And then he said, "Too bad, but you're not if I accidentally kill him because I'm so mad about the Young Bucks." Well, Darby Allin didn't kill him. Darby Allin is working with the Diamond Dallas Page memorial rib tape. Remember that in the 90s, or are you too young? In the middle of the 90s, Diamond Dallas Page got injured ribs, and he wore taped ribs for, I think, like a year and a half. He should probably have gotten those checked out. I don't think the tape was working because he just had to keep on coming back with the taped ribs. We'll see if Darby Allin has to wrestle with taped ribs on Sunday. But he's a big dude, Bononi is. And Darby Allin was going to win this match. You all kind of figured that out. But it is funny, like, when I see a guy like, my ribs are taped, my poor midsection. This right here is not at all a target for you to try and hurt me more, my taped ribs. Also, my finisher involves me going off the top rope and dropping on you ribs first. It worked. And good for Darby. And I appreciate him then, like, saying, I'm not waiting for you guys to jump us after the match. So Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page come out now, and they obliged him. And they came out. You want us to come out in our fancies. I like that Scorpio Sky refers to their Hawaiian shirts as fancies. I like that a lot. You want us to fight for free? Grow up. Grow up is always a good insult. Yeah, it is. It just is. So we're going to wait till Sunday to beat you up. And then Bononi's pals, whatever the hell their names are, they jump them. What's it called? Bononi Men? I like Bononi Men. That's a good Wingman. Pretty picture. That's right. That's what it is. Bononi Men's better. Bononi Men's better, but thank you. Bononi Men. The Bononi Men, they are in canon, in my head, only going to be referred to as the Bononi Men from now on. The Bononi Men jump in because they're mad because Bononi lost. I mean, wouldn't you? The namesake of their group lost. They're very upset. How does that look? So they jump Darby and Sting, and Scorpio and Ethan, who were like, we're not even going to come to the ring because we're going to wait for Sunday. Well, as soon as the Bononi Men jump them, they're like, well, why not? I mean, we're here. What's a few more steps? Let's go in there and help them out. And then, they the Dark Order run out and run everybody off. And here's the deal. I know we talk about on the regular Wednesday night post-Dynamite show, we talk a lot about gang wars with two Z's. It's WARZZ. Gang wars. And how it's kind of getting absurd. However, apparently gang wars are over with the crowds because they went nuts when Dark Order came out to make the save. Now, I don't know. I don't know if that's just like, hey, we're happy to be here. We get to see the Dark Order. We're happy. Or maybe it's a thing. Like AEW crowds love gang wars. We'll have to find out as we go through and have more crowds. But I appreciate that that there was somebody, somebody out there on the post NXT show. We are pro friendship. We do not like to see people tag teams breaking up. We like to see guys backing each other up just because, hey, you seem like a good dude. Would you like to be my friend? After we fight off this group of bad guys, let's go out and have a beer. How about it? Those kind of things are very heartwarming in wrestling. We never see them very often on the main roster anyway of WWE. So I'm pro friendship generally. And so I like that the Dark Order is like, you know what? We like Darby and Sting. They seem to be nice guys. I mean, they got the goth thing going on. We're a Dark Order. So it's kind of the same. We have similar interests. So we're going to back them up in their fight with the Bononi Men. Seems legitimate to me. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything here. I want to make sure I did not miss. Jay Hayes says, Britt is more over than I realized, and so are the Dark Order. Britt is a very special case. We're going to talk about that when we get to that segment. And the Dark Order are super over. Like they got over. Like if you're a AEW super fan and you watch Dark and you watch Elevation, you watch BTE, and you have that attachment to the Dark Order because of Brody Lee, because of -1. Like I feel like they're a really special act, and you can tell a really special story with them. We will see. Oh gosh. The Nerd Guru says, if this WWE/NJ New Japan Pro Wrestling thing happens, are we going to call it WrestleMania Kingdom Lash? I don't know. It's a good suggestion. Not WWE and New Japan merging. That's a terrible idea. For reference of how Vince McMahon is going to book your favorite New Japan stars if they come over and work for WWE. Just for a frame of reference, think Akira Tozawa. That is what Vince is going to do to Okada. Okay? So WWE New Japan thing cannot happen. And according to Tony Khan cutting his own promo about it ahead of Dynamite, he's like, oh, Nick Khan, great job. You've been talking to New Japan for 2 months. Guess what? I've had like a New Japan US title match defended on my show in like the past 2 weeks. So good job, Nick. There's only room for one con in this business, and it's me. Gosh, I know he's working us, but I love it. Okay, so the next big thing that happens is the official weigh-in on Dynamite of Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo and Paul White, former Big Show. No more BS. His Titan. It's not a Titantron, is it? It can't technically be a Titantron if it's a Jumbotron. Titantron that's a WWE thing, but the Jumbotron says no more BS. So you get it? He's not Big Show anymore. But he comes out and he's like, "Hi, everybody. It's good to be here, everybody. Let's bring out the first guy." Anthony Ogogo comes out, and he's got the factory with him. He's got QT Marshall, and he's got Solo and Unfrozen Caveman Wrestler Komoroto, and they're coming out. And Ogogo gets in the ring. He's like, "What are you? You got to come out here with a whole group of you, the whole herd of you. What are you, scared?" And now let me introduce my best friend Cody Rhodes and 75 other people. He just got done trying to insult Ogogo for coming to the ring with his literal faction, like the guys that he runs with, his tight-knit group of like 4 or 5 people. What are you, scared? And then he says, then Cody Rhodes comes out and he's got, I shit you not, at least 36 people with him. And I know like they're trainees at his wrestling school, and that's cool. They get to be on TV. That's nice. But maybe don't insult a guy saying that he's scared because he brought 4 dudes and praise a guy who comes out next who's got like half a battalion. Like that just seems kind of funny to me. And then they do the weigh-in. And they do they do Cody Rhodes first. And everyone's chanting USA, USA, which is still friggin' hilarious. I don't know if maybe the guys who came out with Cody Rhodes were part of his focus group. I say like part of his focus. I'm sure most of the focus group stay backstage. But nobody showed poor Paul White how to work the scale. Like it's an old school, it's not a digital scale. It's an old school thing where you gotta like, take the thing. It's like 100. Okay, 200, 10, 25. No, that's too much. Okay, 10. And then let's see, like it took him forever to figure out how to weigh Cody. Cody was trying to show him how to do it, and I'm pretty sure that's not allowed. At a weigh-in, like you shouldn't be able to be up to the guy who's getting weighed to do it. And so he can't figure it out. And then finally he's like, okay, 218 pounds. And then Ogogo gets on there. He still can't figure out how to do it. Somebody, like, I feel really bad for him. Nobody showed him how to do it. And they probably should have, because it didn't look good. And so Ogogo weighs it at 219. So 218 and 219. And they have the idiocy to have QT Marshall cut a promo about how, because Ogogo is 1 pound heavier, that means he's got the match won, which doesn't make it makes him stupid. Like, I don't know, man. You could have easily had Ogogo cut a really fun promo here about it, and maybe made us actually hate the guy, because he still looks good compared to Cody Rhodes and his focus grouped promo. That he like, okay, so it wasn't actually focus grouped. He made sure to tell you that yesterday. Not actually focus grouped. I just ran it by a whole bunch of veterans backstage. Oh, people in their 50s and 60s who know all about the current climate and how the U.S.'s policies are viewed not only around the world, but here at home. Maybe these people who are, whose favorite president is Ronald Reagan, maybe they're not the best people to run this by, Cody. Just saying. Also, motherfucker, everything isn't about you. Like this, it's just a weird deal to like insert yourself into the promo about whatever. It's just a weird deal, and he's not doing himself any favors. So they have QT Marshall cut this promo for a go-go. And I thought this was overall a very fun show. This segment was just weird to me. They could have had QT Marshall say, okay, I don't want any excuses from you, Cody. This man last week weighed in at 227, and I said, you got to get down. So he trained and cut weight, and now he's a lean 219 because I knew if that guy weighed 5 pounds more than you, and then he beats you on Sunday, you'd have an excuse. So there's no excuses now, Cody. Like, that's a promo that makes the heels seem like they're threatening and not stupid. It's just a thing. I don't like when you make any of your characters seem stupid. I did appreciate them like, what are you doing? Why are you booing him? He's an Olympic athlete. It's just old school heels being heels. This is funny. More super chats. Let's get them in, please. Jordan Hanley says, I got so worked by that main event segment. It feels like the end of the inner circle, but they could just easily get the win back. We will talk about that main event segment. Yes. Tony L says, what do you think of the TK promo? I loved it. I think it's great. It's obviously the best part about it is it's him in character. That's the exact same Tony Khan that was cutting paid ads that were running on Impact. It's the same guy. He's just now doing it against WWE, who's trying to like, oh crap, our competition is trying to work with New Japan. Let's try to outbid them for it. And you know what? They're welcome to do it. And maybe it'll work, but I hope not. Dark Order were over like Rover tonight, Alex, says Evan Wright. I agree. They so were. And Ricardo says, Fightful Select, worth my $10. The best thing about it is $10. I feel like it is worth $10. You get all of Sean Ross Sapp's scoops, slinging scoops like he works at the Cold Stone. And then you get everything else. Like there's so much else you get, including my thing. And you don't have to spend $10 for it. Ricardo, thank you for the $10. You can get it starting at $5. It's a pretty good deal. I don't want to keep plugging it, but it's a pretty good deal. So Cody at the last thing goes, hey, everybody, Paul White, everybody. What a great host he was. Like, you don't need to call attention to the guy. Give him a round of applause for not knowing how a scale works. I honestly don't blame Paul White. If you've never used one of those or it's been a long time, it would be weird. But they should have shown him how to do it. Yeah. So there's a backstage brawl. There's a clever way to get a Christian Cage to talk about the Battle Royal. They don't have to bring everybody who's in the casino battle royal out on stage. You don't have to do any of that. You just you have to have two guys who we know have animosity towards each other, have a fight backstage, and go, if you like this, you're gonna love the battle royal because these two guys are in it. They're two of the favorites to win it, and then you got all these other people, and they show the little screen with everybody's cards. Yeah, it should be. There's a good little brawl backstage. At one point, Christian Cage, it looked like he used one of those metal stanchions that you like run ropes between. Like pick one of those things up and broke it across Will Hobbs's body, which probably doesn't feel good. Hangman Page versus Joey Janela this is fun. This is fun. It's a good way to build up before the pape against Brian Cage. Taz is on commentary. Taz is always fun on commentary. And they brought up that like these guys had their match, the big match at All In, almost 3 years ago now. God, it's so crazy. It's like 2.5 years ago. Like it's more than 2.5 years ago. Not quite 3, but geez, it's getting up there. And they're great together. Joe Janela is really good. He's the perfect guy to take losses like this because he's always going to make his opponent look like $1 million. And he's just going to throw caution to the wind and try to kill himself or his opponent, and that's good. The match ends with somewhere near the end of the match, like right above the hairline. Adam Page sustained a cut, and it was a bleeder. So he hit that buckshot lariat and then got up from the pinfall, and it was his face was the proverbial crimson mask. Wow, man. Yeah, it looked authentic. Looked very, very good. And what was best about it was that he gets on the mic and he's like, all right, Taz, you can shut up because I know what you do. You get on, because Taz gets up and like, hey, Adam Page, I want to introduce you to a friend. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they've met. They had a match like 3 weeks ago. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. You probably never heard of him. He's Brian Cage. He's going to kick your ass on Sunday. You're not introducing him. And Cage comes out, and then he's like, I know how this works. So you distract me, then Cage, you attack me, and Starks, Hook, come out here. I know you're here. Hi, guys. How are you doing? And then you all gang up on me and beat me up. And I loved what he said to Cage. It's like, look at you, man. Look at you. And he's doing all this with blood streaming down his face. It's really cool. Look at you. You're not you. You can't fight your own battles. You need these guys to try and take a chunk out of me before we have our match. Come on. Like, how about for once in your life, stand up, fight like a man, take me on one-on-one. And Cage is like, you're on. Which is good. It makes both guys look good. And I think it's official that the match on Sunday will just be Cage versus Page. I don't know if they're officially banned from ringside, but it seems like that was where they were going. I like it. I think it's good. I think that Page, obviously, to me, will win that match on Sunday, but it's just making it legitimate, and that's good. So they did this TNT, this weird thing where they were like, "We take you now live to Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, who are digging a hole to bury the Young Bucks' shoes." And Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley are, in my opinion, the unquestioned stars of AEW wrestling. In my mind, like, they're the best thing. I would tune in to watch these two guys read out of a phone book. Like, if you told me apparently there's no wrestling allowed on this episode of Dynamite. It's just going to be Eddie and Mox, and they're only allowed to read out of a phone book. It's full 2 hours. I wouldn't miss a minute of it. Like, I love these guys like I love my own brother. They're great. So I wouldn't wear these shoes if they were free or whatever. I don't know what the hell they're saying. But like, we had enough of Rod and Todd Flanders. It called Matt and Nick Jackson Rod and Todd Flanders, which is just a wonderful burn. And then abruptly it cuts to commercial. And I was like, how dare you cut off Eddie and Mox? They said it was live. And of course they come back from the preview and from the commercial, and they start the whole thing over again. The exact same tape segment. It's funny. But the promo's so good. Mox is so great. Like, he's just so angry. And Eddie Kingston. There was one moment where I just wish they had done something a little different, because Mox says, there was that one time when I was living in a hotel room, and I went over and I called Eddie, and I said, Eddie, we got to go to, I don't know what the hell name, some small town in North Pennsylvania. We got to go somewhere, or North Jersey. We got to go somewhere, and we got to take out these two guys. And he already said to me, who's going to drive? I'm like, that's a scene from The Town, John. John Moxley, that's a scene from The Town starring Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner, where Ben Affleck comes up to Jeremy Renner and he says, all right, I need you to come with me. We're gonna go and we're gonna kill 2 guys. Okay. But you can't ask me why, and you can't ask me, what they done or whatever. I need you to help. And then Jeremy said, "Whose car are we gonna take?" Like that's a very famous scene from a movie that came out not that long ago. I wanted Eddie to be like, "Dude, that was in the movie. We watched it last night." Oh yeah. But that was something else that happened. It was something similar. I just because that was obviously from a movie. But I love all their interplay. It's so great. And they both cut great promos on the Young Bucks. And if it were me, that's the match that opens the show on Sunday. Like the first thing you hear after we do, the introductions by Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and everybody, and the crowd's going nuts, and then the fireworks go off or whatever, like they normally do at the beginning of a pay-per-view or whatever. The first thing we hear out of the loudspeakers is the opening strains to the Major League version of Wild Thing, and let that sellout crowd sing Wild Thing at the top of their lungs for Mox and Eddie as they walk out. And they have a great match versus the Young Bucks. And you strap up Mox and Eddie and you let them loose. Because they're so great. They're so good, guys. I love them so much. And I think that that match would be so good, especially to really get a huge pop to start out with. Because Mox was champ for a very good period. And he wasn't champ. He was at the top, and Eddie did almost all of his stuff in AEW during the pandemic, if not all of it. So, like, to reward them with their big, huge first pop of the pay-per-view would be so good. Nikolai Cree said, "Welcome back, fans." Well, I already read that one. Sorry about that. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yes. The Nerd Guru says, seriously, someone get them in a buddy cop movie together. Like they can be the new Lethal Weapon, and I'm 100% serious. Yeah, new Lethal Weapon, new Tango and Cash. I mean, apparently, I got a buddy who's a screenwriter in Hollywood, and he says that they're only accepting reboots of existing IP, intellectual property. Nobody can get over. Nobody can get me over. Nobody can get an original screenplay sold. So whatever awesome buddy cop movie you got from the 80s and 90s, Mox and Eddie are in there. Yeah, I did love this too. That Eddie was sad because he couldn't sell the sneakers. Oh man. That's true. Evan Wright says, I hope the Bucks tweet that they told TNT to cut him off. That'd be good. New bio, they'll say. Mike Proventure says, I love that Hangman is consistently booked as a smart and genre-savvy babyface. So true. It helps so much. It helps that we never have a chance to feel like, man, this guy's a dipshit. Why did he get distracted by somebody else's music? You never have to say that about Adam Hangman Page. Never. It's good. Should I miss everything? Okay, well, I will say that for that. Michael Venture also says that Cody doesn't have a focus group. He just has a group of people he sends his promos to so they can focus on it and provide feedback. It's a totally different thing. Totally different. It's entirely different. And Chris Rain says that weigh-in segment was really the only thing that didn't hit for me tonight. Yeah, it was just weird from the beginning. It's also not a shoot fight. Like there's no weight limit. You know, like that, we're not just curious when we do a boxing weigh-in. We're not just curious, hey, how much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? It's because there's a weight limit. And if one guy is way over it, that's a problem for the fight. It's a wrestling match. Like, how many times have we seen, like, I'm pretty sure Finn Balor and Karrion Kross aren't in the same weight bracket. That's why you don't have to do a weight. What's so weird? Ken Shiro says, yeah, but see, Cody's got an American battalion, so it's not cowardly. It's a very important distinction. I'm glad you made it, Ken Shiro. Thank you very much. Brian Heath says that whole segment, his only thought was that if Cody's underwear were any smaller, the show would get a TVMA rating. It's not. You're not lying. It's not an untrue statement that you made. The Nerd Guru says, rarely do you see an AEW segment that is painful. But my God, that weigh-in was a heaping pile of turds, unnecessarily nonsense. I feel like they didn't let Ogogo have the mic. They didn't let him like try to punch anybody, knock anybody out, make them, crap their pants with the liver punch. I feel like it was really designed to make sure that Ogogo could not possibly get over in the last night before the pay-per-view. Because he's been getting over himself on social media all the time. WrestleMania. Brian, he says, WrestleMania, Great Balls of Fire, Kingdom in Saudi. Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about some stuff about that tomorrow night with the Saudi stuff. Evan Wright says, the eventual Brody Jr. crowd pop will rule. Man, guys, I'm not prepared for that moment. I'm not prepared for that. I'm not prepared for Brody Jr. coming out in front of a full house to the kind of overture that kid is going to get. I don't think anybody's going to be prepared for that. That's going to hit me in all of the feels. Evan Wright says, really excited for the next Jade Cargo versus Kylan King match. They can both move, can grow as workers. Huge fan of both of them. We're going to talk about that match when it comes to it, definitely. Jay Brownlee says, just walked out of the show. I assume, like, because the show was over, you didn't walk out of the show. But yes, man, Britt is so over. Miro and Lance are too. Dark Order's major over, and Cody got a huge pop. Oh, and so did Inner Circle. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Inner Circle and the ridiculousness of that. I think I am almost all caught up except for the stuff about hold on. Yeah, we're going to talk more about the Dante and Miro stuff in a little bit. So if you guys, if I've missed your super chat, I'm going to give people fair warning when I'm done with super chats at the end of the thing, and then if I missed it, please send it to me. But there are a couple that I am waiting for, and you're getting them in certain areas where I'm not able to see them. So hold on, I will make sure. Yes, I see the ones that have been sent about the Dante and Miro match. Yes, they have done a weigh-in before, says the intangible one, Ryan B. Bad. I think the last one was Mox versus Jericho. I don't remember it going this poorly. Maybe they had somebody who could read a scale hosting it. I don't know. Yes. Anyway, I wanted to make sure okay, that's it. Now we're back to our regularly scheduled program. So Tony Schiavone is going to interview Orange Cassidy. Is Orange Cassidy going to voluntarily pull out of the match on Sunday? Because that's something we all thought was a possibility, right? Okay. But I love that they didn't they dispensed with that pretense immediately, and has had Pac come out and cut a great promo about how Orange Cassidy is irrelevant. Pac is, he has been since his heel turn as part of the cruiserweight division in WWE, as the cruiserweight champ. He's one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. And I can't get enough of watching him, and I can't get enough of his persona. I know this is not his time to become a champion, but for me personally, clock is ticking. AEW, you got to put a belt on this guy. You got to make him a major part of your broadcast. He's just so special in my eyes. So he calls out Kenny Omega because you've been ducking and dodging. It's pathetic. He's great. And he calls out Omega. So Don Callis comes up on the screen. He's like, you're dangerous. We want nothing to do with you. So we're definitely not coming to the ring. Please don't look behind you as Kenny Omega gets in the ring. Oh, darn, you look behind you. And then Kenny Omega gets in. And so he's able to fight him off, kick him a few times. It's good. He does that running missile kick off the ropes that he does that I love so much. And then the Good Brothers come in. They beat up poor Pac. And then hey, it was really cool because Pentagon and Phoenix, we know Phoenix is injured and won't be able to compete in the Double or Nothing Battle Royal, but he's there. He's there to help his buddy. We're pro friendship. He's there to help his buddy Pac, and runs off Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And I don't know if anybody noticed this, but Luke Gallows sells like no other for Rey Fenix during their matches. And when he saw Phoenix, he sprinted out of that ring. And I don't know if that was him playing a joke or if it was just me seeing things, but it honestly looked like Luke Gallows saw Phoenix coming at him and ran. And I thought that was hilarious. So then it just comes down to, they chase them off. So that just comes down to Kenny Omega and Pac. And then, hey, here comes Cassidy. Because he's gonna do the one-winged angel to Pac. But Cassidy's music hits. And Cassidy comes down. He's got an envelope and he gives it to Kenny. Kenny fakes getting a paper cut. And then pulls out. This is why it's so good that they're doing this thing in Daly's Place where there's a breeze flowing through, because he pulls out shredded paper and opens his hand and the wind carries it across the ring. It was a great touch. I really did love that a lot. And then Orange Cassidy attacks him, hits him with the orange punch. And then he goes for the belt, but Pac stabs him out of the corner and puts his foot on the belt. And then Orange Cassidy gets to get the better of him. So Orange Cassidy stands tall after having hit his finisher. I think the orange punch counts as a finisher on both Pac and Kenny Omega. So he stands tall. So according to the laws of pay-per-views for years, we know Orange Cassidy's not winning. Well, that may or may not be true, but that's what is normally has happened. Okay, so he gives the thumbs up too. I like that. So there's a thing from earlier today where Jade Cargill is talking with Tony Schiavone. But Matt Hardy is like, hey, I want to be your manager. And then Mark Sterling, who I believe they call Smart Mark Sterling, which I think is a wonderful nickname. I've already been selected as her manager, and here's the deal. If you ever keep bothering her, I'm going to have to slap you with a restraining order. And Matt Hardy goes, no, which is just wonderful, Matt Hardy. Here's the thing. You take 30% off the top. I only get paid if she wins. Everything else is pro bono, which is interesting because there's lots of wrinkles you can do there with that. Is making sure that she doesn't lose could be a thing for him because otherwise he doesn't get paid. Like actually cheating on her behalf where she doesn't want him to, stuff like that. There's a lot of things you can do, but I like that wrinkle. So anyway, Kylan King I don't watch Dark very often, if at all. I am I'm not familiar with all of her work, but I've heard really great things, and I looked it up. Like, she's won, I don't know, I'm going to say like 17 of her last 20 matches on Dark. So yeah, she's good. She wins a lot of matches. She wins a lot of matches on Dark and Elevation, and so much so that I've had a lot of people say they need to sign Kylan King. She's so great on Dark and Elevation. She's so great. And so I was looking forward to this match versus Jade Cargill. This was basically a squash. Like, Cargill just ran right through her. And she's not a small woman. So I think that that's the story they want to tell right now, is that Jade Cargill is unstoppable, which is fine. And Kylan King isn't familiar to people who only watch Dynamite. So they don't know what to expect from her. So I think she can recover from this being squashed. But yes, this would go 11-3. 11-3. So it was deceptive. I was just looking down a list of matches. 11-3 is a pretty good record. She's also, I've noticed, been teaming with Big Swole for a while. And where's Big Swole? Put her on Dynamite. I looked her up on Cage Match too. She's done a lot of matches this year on Dark and Elevation. Put Big Swole on my TV. You could get. I mean, here's something. Like, I don't know how you need to build her up by having her win other matches, but a great thing you could do to put over Jade Cargill is give her a feud with Big Swole, because Big Swole can talk, man. She's really good and she can talk. She's very impressive. Jade Cargill getting a definitive win in a feud over Big Swole. If you have no plans on putting Big Swole in the title picture, Big Swole could be a person that would really elevate, no pun intended, Jade Cargill. Michael Venture says Mark Solling is from my area and he's a phenomenal character. He's a good wrestler, but this is a perfect use of him. Yeah, I did like he tried to give Kylan King his card to recruit her to the team during the match. She took a swipe at him, and he was like, "Well, then you don't get this card." And he picks it up. That's good. Okay, so backstage, Shake Roberts talks about Dante Martin and he'd be a great champion if he actually won the belt. But Blanchard, I don't want Dante. He's a good kid. Hope he has a good match. But I need Miro. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, and this is a crime. They did not put it on TV. Miro cut his own promo, sitting what looked like on a rooftop deck, just shirtless, glistening with sweat in the sunset. Sunglasses, gold chain, looking off into the sunset. Cut a promo, turning to the camera as he's looking off in the sunset. It was great. He was just like the calm before the storm. Lance Archer, I like you. I do. In another time, we could have been friends, but not here. Not now. Like, he's just so great. Like, he's like, it's like, you think you can just get away with it? You think you can talk your shit and walk away? But I am a good man, and in time I will forgive you. But first, I'm going to hurt you. Like, it's like a minute long. You gotta find a minute to put that on TV. Miro's just out of this world great now. This is everything we wanted him to be. At least everything I wanted him to be in WWE. And now they're taking the chains off him. Oh, so good. Poor Dante Martin. Like, I was like, "Dogs, man, this match has to be Miro destroying somebody before the pay-per-view." So they picked Dante Martin. Man, he got broke in half. Like, he had a really great shotgun dropkick, and I think that was all the offense he got. He looks great though, man. He's super talented. And there was a super chat from back at the beginning. I don't even still get it. Yes. Man Antonio said it must have been brutal for Dante to hear Miro gonna kill you. Yeah, people were chanting that for him, for Miro, and Miro was just basking in it, just his eyes closed, swaying back and forth to a Miro gonna kill you chant. There was an earlier super chat that I can't access anymore, so I don't know who sent it, but I remember what it was. That Dante is 5 years younger than Dominic Mysterio. For everybody who's like, Dominic, so young. Look at Dominic. Dante Martin is leaps and bounds ahead in the ring of where Dominic Mysterio is, and he doesn't have a very famous daddy. I'm sorry. On the post SmackDown Sour Graps, we are very much anti Dominic Mysterio. So people may know that, and that's why they sent me that. I really do love Dante Martin. I love his brother too. When his brother is healthy, Top Flight is a really cool tag team. Jeez, man. Well, there's no reason to talk about it tonight, but I'm just thinking about just like Mox and Eddie working all these different tag teams and different styles that they would come across. Ooh, there's so many good ones. The Intangible One, Ryan B. Bad, says Miro's tweet promo was perfect. It was like he was a Bond villain. Yeah, a Bond villain. I also thought like he'd be like the final boss in like a John Wick movie. We're like, John, you know I like you. I would. It's possible you could come work for me. But I know. It's the one thing. I killed your goldfish, and now you want to come and kill me. I understand. But I'm going to kill you. But it will be fun. Like he seems like that kind of guy. But I do love it. He hit his huge thrust kick, which just looks like he's going to talk somebody's head off. And then he puts in the game over with the old accolade, and now he's doing the thing he did for a while. There was a while he was U.S. champion where he put people in the accolade back in WWE, and it was like the super accolade where like he'd pull back and then he'd drop all the way to his back and pull you back over. So not only is he snapping your spine in half, but then he's tearing your quads out of your knees, like because he's got all of his weight on the backs of your calves, right, on your calves, and then cranking back like in half. Like the arch that Dante Martin got when he was in that submission was just brutal, man. So then Roberts and Archer come out. Yeah, he's also Bolo Young from the old Kung Fu movies. He's got a lot of Chong Li in him. And that's not a bad thing to have in you if you're Miro. But let Roberts and Archer head out to the ramp. I love that Miro's like, stop it. Stop holding your boy back. Doesn't everybody want us to see us fight? Don't you want us to see us fight now? Come on, stop holding him back. Let him go. Come into the ring. But he comes out and almost has a choke slam on him. But Miro goes to the floor. There's a bunch of the referees getting in the way. Like it's a good. This match is gonna hump on Sunday. This match is gonna hump. These guys are gonna beat the shit out of each other. It's gonna be so good. Nikolai Kreese says Lance doesn't need Jake anymore. It's true. Lance can talk. I think the big mute monster heel is a good, right? It's a good thing. It's a good thing to have in a stable of wrestlers you have in your promotion. Lance is effectively a tweener. He's a fan favorite. He's not a babyface. He is a fan favorite. The crowd loves to see him kick the shit out of people. That's different than being a babyface. He is what they could absolutely do with Braun Strowman in WWE. but they refuse to do it. They like, is he heel? Is he face? If he's a face, we'll make him an idiot. No. Just make him a guy that we love to watch kick people's asses. That's all you need to do. And Lance is that and does not need a mouthpiece to be that guy anymore. That was a cameo by Jeremy Lambert. So then they introduce Tony Shivani. Introduces Hikaru Shida, and they put she comes out, she looks great. It's just like commemorating her her 1 year, like it's now 377 days as champion. And she's been that through the entire pandemic. She hasn't been champion in front of real fans. And they bring her out and she gets a good response from the fans. They like her. We like Shida. And they give her new a new AEW women's title. Looks better than the first. It's bigger. First one was very, very small. It looked like it was a title for children, and this one's bigger and it's better. It's got diamonds encrusted in it and gold. It's nice. I really appreciate it. It becomes evident. She has a promo. It's a babyface promo. This is not my title. It's a title for you and you and you. And then Britt Baker comes out, and she just exudes it. Whatever it is, she exudes it. Shida hasn't got much appreciated in the build for this match. So I'm saying this to say that she has been a very underrated and very proud, very good champion. Yes, Big Rocky's 26. That's very true. It's a weird thing. Like, she's been a champion for a year, and we don't think of her as being. It's not her fault. She's really great. They haven't given her really stories to sink into. They haven't given her enough title defenses. They haven't done right by her in the booking of her as champion. And she is great. And it's absolutely Britt Baker's time. She needs to be champion now. And that's a tough thing to do. It's a tough thing to do to Shida. Like, hey, we finally get crowds back. We're going to have to take that title off you now. But they've waited too long to put that title on Britt Baker. And she is super over because we love her. Like, as a personality, she's just so good at what she does. I don't know what AEW's viewpoint is on this. She's super over when she becomes champion on Sunday. She's going to get crazy cheers. What are they going to do about that? Are they going to force a babyface turn? Are they going to figure out a way to like organically build to one? I think you could easily, the person who could make her very sympathetic is a overpowered super OP Jade Cargill coming for that title. You could easily do like a Clubber Lang and Rocky thing, where Clubber Lang's first title fight against Rocky, he beat the piss out of him, just destroyed Rocky, and Rocky was depressed and couldn't figure. And then he finally he worked out, got better, got back in the ring in the rematch versus Clubber Lang in Rocky 3, Mr. T. He beat him. You could do that program with Jade. Jade taking out Britt because Britt had no idea what she was in for when Jade got her in the ring in her super overpoweredness. And then Britt becomes a sympathetic figure to get that title back. I don't think you need to do that like within the next 4 to 5 months or 6 months or whenever. But I'm saying that could be a thing that you could use to make that transition to Britt being a babyface more organic. To just like, well, the people like her, so why fight it? Just let her be a babyface now. Before we get into the last couple things, I want to let you know that at the end of this, I'll be doing a real quick predictions for the show. But in case you want to do some predictions yourself, I have a live, just kidding, Sean Ross Sapp, to tell you how you might be able to do that and also win some money. So here's this.
Fear not, I am here in spirit, my friends. This weekend, I'm traveling. I'm in Jacksonville at AEW Double or Nothing. But you know what else I'm doing this weekend? I'm playing WrestleRumble.com, making my predictions for AEW Double or Nothing at WrestleRumble.com, hoping I can win that first place of $1,000. You can get second or third place for $100. And in fact, the last winner of a $1,000 prize for WrestleMania Backlash was a Fightful viewer. It was one of you beautiful people that we let know about WrestleRumble.com on this show. So you're going to want to tune in. You can get one entry for $10, 3 for $20, 5 for $30. And it doesn't end there. They're doing the Great American Belt Bash. $1 per entry. First prize gets a U.S. spinner belt from John Cena. Second place gets a WCW U.S. title. Third place, an IWGP U.S. Championship. Fourth place is a WWE U.S. Championship. And the fifth winner is the retired WWE United States title. My God, there's so much stuff at WrestleRumble.com that they're giving you. And that original game, that Double or Nothing Pick'em contest, it's not just, who's going to win? It's going to be how much time will they win in? How long will it go? Who will get the pinfall? Who will sustain the pinfall? It is an absolutely fun game, and even if you're not that invested in whatever the show might be at any given time, WrestleRumble.com gets you there. Check it out. Tag them on Twitter, WrestleRumble. They're on Instagram as well, WrestleRumble.com.
So there you go, WrestleRumble.com. Use it. Maybe don't abuse it, but it can work for you. Sean is a huge proponent of that. My wife won't let me gamble. I try to respect her wishes because I had a bit of a problem with gambling in my 20s. That's more than you needed to know about me. So Ethan Page, the previous, yes, I'll one thing about Britt Baker that we have to mention. Just, you were the face women's division. That's fine. But when I win the women's division, the title, I'll be the face of a whole new era. The previous era was all about 316, and this one will be about DMD. Britt Baker's everything, and she's so good. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. Yeah, Ethan and Scorpio, it feels like they've been working together forever. They're really great. I love these guys. And Stu and Evil they've been working together forever. And the Dark Order's super over. And I thought they were going to do something different with this match. Like Stu and Evil, they got a lot of the a lot of stuff in on Ethan and Scorpio. And that's fine. It just I thought they were going to do a lot more to like put over Scorpio and Ethan as a tag team that you don't want to mess with, so that we're scared. Sting might wind up in a wheelchair, something like that. But Stu's great. He had this springboard from the inside over the turnbuckles to the outside, dropped the DDT on Scorpio onto the apron, which was nuts. And then Scorpio got him back by doing a springboard into a cutter into the ring. This was a really good match. I thought that all four guys look good. I didn't expect Scorpio and Stu to look as good in this particular moment, but I did love the finish. Because there was a good near fall with a 450 splash by Stu, but Scorpio or Ethan, one of the two, went right to the eyes of Uno, and then Scorpio ran in, got Stu Grayson in the heel hook as Ethan Page hit the ego's edge, his razor's edge that he tosses somebody onto Uno, and they're the legal men. So he pins Uno while Stu Grayson is in the heel hook and can't reach back to try and break up the pin. It was really effective. I thought it was a good moment. And so yeah, Ego and Page should get the win. Ego, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky should get the win, and they did get the win, and that's good. And then at the end of the match, let's see here, my notes here. At the end of the match, there's Darby comes out with a bunch of guys wearing Sting masks, and these are obviously not Sting, and so they just start going through them. Just toss them over the ring ropes, smacking them, whatever, and then one of them gets hit in the face and doesn't go down. And Sting does the thing. Sting does the Sting thing where he's wearing a mask and he takes the mask off and he's wearing the face paint under the mask. And that was a really good moment, a really good callback. Just one of the biggest wrestling moments in a long time. I really loved that a lot. Yes, Kenshiro says he says Britt and Adam Cole, partners in being massively cheered as heels. Yeah, man, it's so true. They figured it out. They figured it out. Wait a minute. If you're gonna do that, then I'm gonna do this. So there you go. See now don't. Wait. There. Which one's the real Sting? You don't know. That's not good. That's okay. Oh man, we have fun here at Fightful. So then the last thing that happens, the big main event of the night, and if I haven't talked about your super chat. Send it in again with like little asterisks by it, or send me a new one if you want to talk about this thing that's happening here. So, here we go. Eric Bischoff comes out and talks about how 25 years ago, just a little while ago, I introduced what would become the best faction, the coolest faction in wrestling. But I'll tell you what, these guys might just take the crown. I'm like, who wrote that for you, Eric Bischoff? There's no way you believe that. There's no way you believe that the Inner Circle is the NWO. How much did Jericho pay you? Come on, that's ridiculous. But then Inner Circle comes out, and it's really cool to hear an entire stadium badly sing Judas. It really is. It's great. Like, they definitely know the words to the end of the chorus. They don't know any of the words to the verses or the bridge or any of that stuff. But it's fun to just hear them go, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of fun. And then they go, Judas in my mind. They all know that part. Jeremy and I know all about that song because we had to sing it for a thing that we did. But so we wanted to show you guys how much we love you, the Inner Circle. We've always loved you. You've always been fan favorites here. The Inner Circle, the cool guys, people that we've always cheered. Here's a highlight package we put together for you, and their heel turn has been so recent, so abrupt, so out of the blue, so unbuilt up or not organic at all, that literally all of the highlights of them are them beating up and or doing horrible things to people we still root for and cheer for. Like they're putting out Moxley's eye with a spike. They're beating Orange Cassidy mercilessly with a bag of oranges. They put Ricky Morton through a table off the stage. These are horrible acts that they've done. They don't have anything in there like beating up the Pinnacle, who are these dastardly heels we're supposed to root against. They don't have any of that. They just have them doing terrible things to people we still like, which is a weird thing to do for your babyface thing that you're celebrating. If this is the last, this is it. man, what a run we had. They could have they finished this highlight package. They're like, man, we've certainly gotten to do a lot of great things, haven't we? Got a lot of fun stuff. Yes, remember all the fun things we did when we tried to maim all of the people that you guys cheered for tonight. Like, it's a weird thing to do with your new babyface faction. Then after that, which is so funny, because they nothing is by accident in AEW. Remember last week where they had that little moment between Jericho and Dean Malenko, and they're like, "Oh, they're friends now, isn't that sweet?" Well, up here, Jericho, on the Titantron, Jumbotron, Trontron, we got the Contron. That's what I'm gonna call it now. It's not the Titantron. In WWE, it's the Titantron. In AEW, it's the Contron. On the Contron, we got we got MJF with Malenko tied to the stanchion for the goalposts, and he's like, "Chris, you better come and rescue your boy, or I'm gonna make the Iceman extra cold." Oh, don't do that. You're gonna crank up the AC. Oh, he's gonna kill him. That's terrible. So they run backstage and they're ambushed by the Pinnacle along the way. And the beatdown, like the beatdown is funny because we're supposed to hate the Pinnacle, but you just showed us a highlight package of why we're supposed to hate the Inner Circle and want them to get broken up. I don't know. What are you gonna do? The big thing at the end of this brawl. It's a go home show for the pay-per-view on AEW, so you knew there was going to be a show closing brawl. It's punctuated by Dax and Cash hitting pile drivers through tables onto Santana Ortiz. Yeah, man, that was great. Looked good, built up the match, made it seem now for the first time that, yeah, you could definitely do a Stadium Stampede match and have it not be goofy, have it not be Jericho dropping the Jags mascot with a Judas effect. You could make it be brutal, and I like that. The Intangible One, Ryan B. Bad says, I would love to have Dean come out and take out Tully during the Stampede match to help Inner Circle win. That's perfectly fine. I don't like the Inner Circle winning thing. The Inner Circle needs to break up. They've been around since the beginning of Dynamite. It's too long. That they have a ceiling. Like, Jericho's done everything Jericho can do as part of this group. They're actively holding Sammy Guevara and Ortiz and Santana back. Like, they can't branch out and be what they can actually be when they're part of this group. Sammy Guevara should be going after singles titles as a baby face, like a real baby face. Like, get him over as one, as opposed to, hey, we said these guys are baby faces now. Hager can do whatever the hell he wants off my television. But Ortiz and Santana are a great tag team. Put them over in the tag division. Like, make it work. I am ready for the end of the Inner Circle. I was ready for them to break up before they turned babyface. Like, it's just it just hasn't worked for me. Trey is balding. Stellar Justin Lopez. Trey beat your team tonight. With all the dastardly things they've done, you wouldn't think Inner Circle would fall. Those stereo pile drivers were insane. It's true. Yeah, the Inner Circle should be more street smart. They beat up people all the time. They should know this was going to come. They should have known. We totally would have done this 4 months ago. We should probably have doing it. Yeah. Apparently there's a thing going around that the Spanish announce team from AEW did some really heinous stuff talking about Shida and have gotten their just desserts. So that's all I'm going to say about that until I know more about it. Yeah. So let's talk about Double or Nothing real quick. Kenny's winning. I think we all expect that. Britt is winning. Yes. To me, you got to do Eddie and Mox. They got to go over the Young Bucks. You just got to do it. They're ready. It's time. Miro retains over Archer. Paige beats Cage. I think that we all kind of figured out that. I think I personally I'd have the heels. I'd have Scorpio and Ethan Page go over Sting and Darby. That's what I would do personally. I understand if they're not going to do that because they want Sting to get a huge pop in his match back. That makes sense to me too. But I think there's ways you can rebuild them back up. Not necessarily getting their heat back immediately, but I think Paige and Scorpio are an amazing duo. I think they can both talk. They can both go in the ring. The plan should be to build them up and let them do some stuff. If not in this match, then soon thereafter. Stampede. I honestly think they're going to probably have Inner Circle win, but they shouldn't. They should not do that. Pinnacle should win this. If the stipulation wasn't there, if the stipulation didn't exist, if Inner Circle losing didn't force them to break up, then I say that yeah, you definitely have the Pinnacle win. Yeah, that's probably what they would do. But with that stipulation, it depends on what they want to do with the Inner Circle, honestly. On the pre-show, Serena Deeb, who's doing as good a work as anybody, male or female, in the world in the ring right now, versus Riho. I think that Serena Deeb wins. And then as far as the Battle Royal, problem here with the Joker is, I mean, either that or maybe Christian. Christian could win that and get a title shot versus Kenny Omega on a Dynamite down the line. I think you could probably do that too. I think I've done all the matches. I think I've predicted them all. Peter Davies says, by the way, Shida has actually had 9 title defenses in 1 year. Is pretty good, in my opinion. Storylines were not there, but her English was great tonight. Yeah, her English is fine. That's not a problem. Her English is certainly better than a lot of people's second languages. That's not a problem. The problem was they never gave her a storyline. And she has had title defenses. That's true, but they haven't felt important because they haven't given her a title, a storyline. Entitled One, Ryan B. Bad says, I wouldn't mind Inner Circle winning if it leads to a singles match of MJF versus Jericho and a retirement match for Jericho. Well, now that's something I'd want to see, because I think that Jericho has a lot more to give wrestling before he's finally all said and done. But I don't think any of that has to happen as an in-ring performer. I think there's a lot of more stuff he can do other than that. All right. I think All right. I hope everybody enjoyed. Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. That really helps us out. I cannot say it enough. Subscribe to Fightful YouTube if you can. Also, we have the Fightful Twitch. I want to do this. I'm doing this on purpose. I want to make sure I'm doing this because I had a friend who asked me to do this. So it's not TV.
Alex Pawlowski.
Hey, it's Jeremy Lambert, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming.
Yes.
I was plugging it on your behalf.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. I heard you plugging it, so I was going to jump in.
Oh, okay.
That's why I've just been sitting. We got Sting figures here.
Dueling Sting figures. I like yours. Yours has a bat.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's pretty sweet. I have my Sting mask that I famously wore on the Halloween show.
Yes, I remember.
But it got stolen, so I don't have it anymore.
Oh no, that's
very
terrible.
Sad times. Yeah, very sad times.
Who would steal a Sting mask? What dastardly human would do that?
the girlfriend just took it from me.
Jeez.
Horrible, Alex. Horrible.
That is horrible. It's terrible.
Alex, do you want to talk about the Bucks? Can we do that?
Yeah, let's talk about the Bucks.
Okay. I see you're wearing your Bucks shirt. Yeah.
3-0. I had to represent. Gonna sweep away the demons from last
Do you think they
last
sweep?
year. Yeah, I think Miami's done. I don't. There's no reason for why would Miami try in a game 4 in Miami when the series is already over, just so they could board a flight to go back to Milwaukee? It's like 48 degrees here. Why would Miami ever want to come here? That's ridiculous. I live here. I want to go to Miami. Like, no, nobody wants that.
I like your logic on why I like this.
I mean, it's been 140 times somebody's gone up 3-0 and nobody's ever come back to beat them. Yeah. This isn't the time that's going to happen. So why? Jimmy Butler's
going to go out there and still like try hard and stuff and be competitive, and Hero and Robinson are just going to be like, no, we're good. We're going to chill in Miami.
I'm good. I think Trevor Ariza might try. Maybe he'll go 1 for 9. That'll be good. That'll be good for them.
OKC got a nice little second round pick for Ariza. Just cashing in on them second rounders.
I think you have 12 of ours, but that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. Yeah, no, it's listen. I think Jason Tatum might steal one more from the Nets, and then we have like 2 weeks off. Everybody heal up. Now that really sucks. Like
DiVincenzo being
that's
out
not
sucks.
good. Like he doesn't do a lot like on the stuff that you think of, but he can play defense. He can knock down some threes and he can play some really good defense. Forbes can't play defense at all. Yeah. So you can only have him out there in spurts. You can't have him out there for a lot. But I think Connaughton can get, if he's not doing bonehead plays, he can actually do some pretty good defense too. That might be good. Oh, we got a super chat about basketball. This is my dream. More and more, the Heat proved that they were just a bubble team last year. Yes, Alex, Tree beat our ass, but it'd be nice if some other than D Rose would score. Yeah, man, Julius Randle has not been it in the playoffs.
Oh,
that's good. No. But like this is the thing I said at the time. I was like, the whatever the lottery odds were, like they were coming down to like who would be the most unbeatable team if they got Zion in the draft. And I was like, Atlanta. You're putting Zion with Trae Young. They're like, well, no. If somehow Zion had wound up on Atlanta, they'd be a top 3 team in the East right now. Like, it's just So Trae Young is the real deal. Mostly because he has no fear. The only thing he fears is his hairline. That's the only thing he fears.
I have a question for you, Alex. Would you rather have Trae or Ja?
Ja. Because I think Trae is like I don't think his ceiling is much higher than like Damian Lillard, who's great, like a perennial all-star, maybe even an MVP candidate on a great year, can like take a team maybe to the conference finals. That's what Trae Young is. Ja Morant is like an otherworldly talent. Like that guy's going to win MVPs. That guy's gonna all first team all NBAs and stuff. Like he will win a title. Probably not in Memphis, but that guy's going to win a title. He's just super special.
Fair. I lean towards Trae. I lean towards Trae. It's so close though. Like I don't think you're going wrong with like either of those guys. They're both so good. I popped on. I just want to say first off, Alex is the man. Everyone come join us over at Twitch.
Yes.
Twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming, where this is basically a simulcast right now. If you're watching on Twitch, you can see me here.
Yeah.
See me here.
Yeah, there you go.
We're playing video games. We're hanging out. I'm going to open a box that my mom sent me. I don't know what's in this box, but I'm going to open it on Twitch.
Unboxing.
Yeah, we're doing unboxing on Twitch. No idea what's in it. Everyone come hang out. Alex, thank you for letting me crash your show.
Yeah, it was fun.
So I can jump on here and come on the distraction and talk basketball with us.
Yes, when I can. If you guys are recording at this time, I'll show up anytime because my wife and my daughter are asleep, and I'm up until 1 a.m. every night anyway. But if it's during the day, I got dadly duties to do.
Yeah,
you know?
you got like responsibilities and shit.
I
That
know
sucks.
it sucks. I hate being an adult with a kid
horrible.
and shit. It sucks.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Actually, it's
Thank
the
you
biggest thing in
guys.
the world, but yeah.
Everyone have a good evening.
Yes,
Come
have a
join
good
us
evening.
on Twitch, everybody.
Yes, join everybody on Twitch.
See you later, Alex.
Yeah, bye. Yeah. So yes, that was Jeremy Lambert. We talked about basketball. That was weird, but good in a good way. Thanks everybody for being here. Subscribe to the show. Subscribe to Fightful Select, where you'll hear me yell about SmackDown tomorrow and how everything's a rerun in WWE. But don't want to talk about WWE. We'll talk about AEW Double or Nothing. The show on Sunday promises to be fantastic. I hope everybody who wants to gets the chance to see it, and we'll talk to you about AEW next week at this same time. I don't know if I'll be hosting that show or not, but AEW is a late show on Friday again next week, so we'll see how that works. But there will definitely be a post show for you guys to watch then. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you around.